Foggin-Johnston, obviously there's been some seismic news here at Odsal and Tong this week, and that of course was the news that John Keira's left by mutual consent and Matt Dunn's been placed in temporary interim charge. What's your thoughts on that news as a player?
You know, he's there's a lot of things have been said about John, and you know, when you look online, you try not to do that, but ultimately, you know, it's hard not to, and it's tough for the boys to take. You know, I think for me personally, I can only speak from my point of view, and John's the one that brought me here. Ultimately, he seen me play against him and brought me here. He's always been interested in me and always kind of took me under his wing. So it's a tough one, mate. You know, we have to regroup and kind of, you know, crack on. But I know he only wants the best for us, and we only want the best for him. So if it's left on a mutual kind of consent, like you say, I guess that's just the next steps we've got to accept.
When you look at obviously accountability, obviously that buck stops with the head coach. John, has there been much accountability amongst the playing group for obviously this lean period in terms of getting results on the board?
Yeah, I think it's a tough one really, because like you say, the head coach does kind of take the brunt of it with the interviews or. But I've always said myself, you know, we enjoy playing for John. You know, it's the lads that are on the pitch that. And we accept that. If I was out there for these 8 weeks or what, I haven't been there, I'd take responsibility for the way I played or to contribute to the losses. Obviously, there is some part with the game plans and stuff like that, but you know, sometimes you get it wrong, and we have to accept that and take it on the chin. And that's one thing John is good at, and kind of just taking it on the chin. You know, if it's his fault, he'll say that.
Mark's come in, obviously. Mark, John's assistant, somebody you already know and clearly respect.
Yeah, 100%. We've always had, you know, time and respect for Dunning anyway. You know, he's very much involved, you know, with John. You know, with all the video, he gets behind the players. You know, if we ever need him, he's there to talk to. For me personally as well. So, I think he'll fit in just fine, and hopefully it doesn't alter our performances. You know, from the last weekend. Well, this weekend just gone, should I say? Don't alter the performance in a negative way at all.
You look at that performance on Monday, you clearly, there was a reaction from the playing group to what had been back-to-back home defeats against Barrow and Halifax. Obviously you didn't play in those two games because you were on your 2-week loan at the Midland Hurricanes, but yeah. Has there been much talk amongst the playing group about that performance against Featherstone on Monday, that has to be the minimum line in terms of the effort from the players out there on the field? Yeah,
well, to be honest with you, what I'm looking at and what the players are now is looking at this week. Because we're all good and well saying, you know, we've had a cracking game against Fev, we had a real dig. But if it's not backed up, then it's just all hearsay, innit? And just talk, you know. We'll see when we turn up at Whitehaven on Sunday, and if we give them it, then ultimately we'll know where we're at. But I think it would deck, you know, Patton, he put in the group chat before the game on Monday, and he literally just said, boys, listen, you know, regardless of what these last performances have been like, let's just have a real dig at these now. And I think that, to me, I thought, you know, fair play. You know, when you have a senior player just saying things like that, it makes you get on board. And I think we did have a real dig. I was pretty proud of our performance. It's just, you know, like I say, in the first half, I think we messed up on a couple of chances where that'd have been a different game changer. That, because Feather not used to chasing games. That's for sure. You know.
John said on Monday after the game, he felt that some of those bomb chances and lapses in defence were down to the playing group being anxious, put under pressure perhaps by the supporters or other external forces. Is that how you feel as a player?
Yeah, do you know, it could be a factor. You know, we can't make excuses. I think one thing that you can't do as a player is, you know, blame the supporters for anything. You know, they ultimately they're passionate about. They want us to do well. Obviously, they don't see what goes on behind the scenes, you know. So I think it's hard to kind of get too involved. But he is right, you know. If we were a bit anxious and little things like double movements, like you say, and if them things don't happen and we just get them on the set after, you know, they get them on the tackle after, it's a game changer. That would have been 12 to 14 points up. So it's one of those, isn't it? I think it does come down to them anxiety levels, maybe, and that pressure that does put it on you as a player. Put it on you.
On a personal level for yourself, you got the man of the match. You scored a try right at the start of the second half. Does that feel like a bit of atonement for what happened against Lee in round 3?
Yeah, definitely. To be honest with you, it mentally drained me, this ban, because I've been here nearly. This is my 4th season, I believe, and I've wanted to get my spot, and earn my spot and not get removed from it, and then I earn it this year, and then the way I get taken out of it is the silly eye tackle that wasn't ever meant or intentional, but it happened. But coming back and getting the man of the match, or even scoring, or even taking them high balls like I did, I wasn't bothered about scoring. It was more about do a good job for the lads. Do you know what I mean? Don't turn up and just not make much of it, but do the best I can do for boys.
And on Sunday, obviously Whitehaven, no secret. Bradford, if they win, they're back at 50%. Mark's just said it's not quite must win, but obviously for Mark, yourselves, sort of new era of the Bradford Bulls post John Keir, it'd mean the world of good to get the win.
We need to be winning this game, mate. That's the way I see it. I think the next 3 to 5 games we need to be looking at winning all of them. We've had some games that we should have won. On paper, I know you can't go down to paper, but the lads have been very disappointed. And for me being sitting there watching as well, I know that's not them. And it even frustrates you more as a player when you're not playing, and when you're watching a team that has got so much more to give than what they have been. And I'm sure we'll make up for that, and we'll go up to Whitehaven. Is it up or down to Whitehaven? I don't know. Up to Whitehaven. I'm sure we'll go up to Whitehaven. Right. I know, yeah. I'm sure we'll go up to Whitehaven and have a real good dig.